I think we can go ahead and get started. So welcome to Julie's Infinite Playlist. Today we have Gold Steps with Liz, Cam, David, and Zach. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Excited.
So just to start off with, where did the name Gold Steps come from?
Zach and David and I were actually in a previous band together, and we weren't really happy with the direction it was going. And Zach and I were driving around in his truck one day, and the song Gold Steps by Neck Deep came on, and we both looked at each other and we were like, this is the kind of music we want to be making, and it just kind of stuck with us, and ever since then we've been Gold Steps.
Awesome.
Well, ever since we left the other band.
Yeah.
It's from Neck Deep.
Yeah.
Nice.
No secrets there.
And how did each of you get into music?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, so I'll start that one out. I actually grew up playing the stand-up bass in orchestra.
Very nice.
So I switched. I used to be a bassist since 6th grade, all the way up to my junior year of high school. So, and then I got asked to play guitar on a tour, so I switched to guitar, and ever since then I've been playing guitar. As far as pop punk, I've always listened to Blink-182 and stuff like that, so they were a big inspiration. Blink-182, Green Day. I got really into 4 Year Strong, Neck Deep, all those guys, so that's where a lot of my influence comes from.
Ever since I could talk, I was singing pretty much. My parents have a video of me singing the alphabet song when I'm just a little bit, a year and a half old or something like that. And pretty much all of our home movies have me singing some song or another in them. And I did a lot of country when I was younger, karaoke kind of stuff. And then my dad was always into new wave and Queen and stuff like that. But then he started listening. We had an alternative rock station. So when I would ride in the car with my dad, it was always Green Day, Blink-182, that kind of stuff. And then what really tipped it for me was Avril Lavigne and Michelle Branch got really big.
Yeah.
And so instead of listening to Faith Hill and stuff like that, I started listening to those artists. And I got a guitar for Christmas when I was 12. Started taking lessons. And once I was in high school, everything was pop punk. Yeah. So I started with Avril Lavigne, went to Sugar Cult, and then I discovered Fall Out Boy, Motion City Soundtrack. All those bands are from around where I grew up. I'm from Wisconsin, and Motion City Soundtrack's from Minneapolis, and Fall Out Boy's from Illinois. Yeah. So I grew up around that, and pretty much was in a band when I was in college. Didn't work out. Kind of gave up on music, and then a couple years ago, kind of just had to move down here with somebody else, and I told myself that I was going to pursue music since I was in Austin, and pretty much since then, that's what I've been doing.
Awesome.
Here we are.
I love that you mentioned Sugar Cult. They're actually my favorite band. My first tattoo that I got is actually one of their song titles.
My senior pictures, I'm wearing a Sugar Cult shirt. I still have
awesome.
My shirts. I have signed Chucks by them.
Yeah.
They're the nicest guys.
They really are. They're
so
cool.
So cool. Yeah.
So I got into music. My dad introduced me to guitar when I was very young. Both my parents played guitar. I did chorus and then a little bit of jazz band in high school, and then was in a couple weird bands, metal bands and an Incubus cover band that we kind of just messed around with. And then I DJ'd for a long time in college, and then when I moved down here, I wasn't really pursuing anything, and then I was like, I should do something. It's Austin's the music capital of the world, and I decided I'd go out and try to find something to do. And after a couple failed attempts, I came across Zach on Craigslist, and here we are.
Nice, very nice.
All right, and myself, I started studying classical guitar. That was my big in high school, I guess. And then some of my friends they play guitar, and hey, we need a bassist for a metal band. Okay, I play bass. And that was my start, and since then, I love it. My biggest influence is Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. So that was it, that I got into it.
Nice. Very nice. And how did this band come together?
So Zach and I played in a band. I joined a band that he had started back in early 2016. And and after going through a couple of lineup changes in that band, David ended up joining the band too. And then when we all weren't happy with the way that band was working out, the three of us, that band kind of imploded, and the three of us kind of just struck out on our own. And that was really kind of what started it. Was really Zach they actually had another singer in the band that he was in, and then I was in a different band, and that band didn't work out. So I reached back out to him because he had asked me about being a vocalist for him, and they actually already had somebody. And then he was like, "But wait, are you looking?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then so he was like, "Come on over for an audition." So then for a while we had two singers.
Nice.
And then it was just me again.
And then, after that, once we actually all came together, we were looking for a drummer and a guitarist, and we found our drummer, Roger, and Cam here.
Yeah. Cam actually came out to an acoustic show we were doing.
Very nice.
We never stopped after we quit that band.
We played acoustic shows and started writing immediately for the new project. So we pretty much never ever stopped playing music.
Never stopped, and we were lucky enough to get Cam and Roger in here.
Nice. Very cool.
Giggling over there. You're so flattered.
And so I guess you guys have all been in bands previously. You kind of talked a little bit about it, but if you want to go a little bit more in depth on it.
Sure.
Well, Zach, you're probably the most experienced.
I've been in bands since middle school, high school. First band was definitely emo, screamo. And then we got into... I was able to actually tour with a band called Tonight is Glory. It was really cool. Gave me a lot of experience. And that's when I actually had to switch to guitar. So that's when I started playing guitar. And then me and my good friend Nick had actually quit that band and started a new band called Abroad Abroad. And it was more pop punk, the Wonder Years, kind of more of 4 Year Strong too, because we were both the lead singers playing guitar. So it was fun. And then I had an opportunity to move to Austin. I did it. Obviously, I had to leave that band and some of my good friends. But that's when I actually came out here, found that band, and it didn't end up working out between the drummer and I. But now we're definitely in a better place, you know, with this band.
Yeah.
With Gold Steps.
Definitely seems like it.
Yeah. We love this band more than anything. So for me, as far as being in bands, I kept trying to start stuff, in middle school. You meet together with your friends and you're like, we're going to start a band.
Yeah.
And all you end up playing is that one Sugar Cult cover song or like 3 Fall Out Boy songs that you know. And then in high school was the first time I started writing like original music with a band. And we never had a name. I always joked we couldn't get out of the basement because we played in the basement. We never played a show, but it didn't work out there. I was in another band in college called All the Damn Action. That was my first experience actually going out and playing live shows as a full band. Like I played acoustic a couple times with a friend of mine, but that was my first time like being the front person of a band, and it was super addicting. But I was trying to graduate college and do all the normal adult things in life. And then I got the itch a few years later when I thought my life had settled, tried to start a band up in Wisconsin where I was, and then all of a sudden I found myself on my way to Austin. So there pretty much started sending out Craigslist ads and answering them like the second I got there. And I actually ended up, the first person I talked to here is Tristan Wilson. He is in a band called Almost Famous Friends.
Okay.
Probably heard of them. Met up with him, and he actually introduced me to some people I was in a band with before I reached out to Zach. Zach was actually supposed to try out and play for that band, and he ditched us to go play with some other band. And, but he had added me on Facebook, and then, we, I guess, kind of kept loose tabs on each other, and then I reached out when that other band didn't work, and we also never had a name. And then joined his band, and pretty much since then, him and I have been, like, at least writing songs together and playing music together.
Yeah.
So
very nice.
And then came Gold Steps.
For me, I'm probably I have the least band experience. Most of my experience in music is DJing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Did have a metal band back in high school called Oak Ridge Army. Played a couple shows, had some fun with that. And then a couple of basement bands in college, just jamming, figuring stuff out, and didn't really go anywhere, didn't really play any shows, but kind of like cut my teeth and just started being like, all right. And then kind of evolved into DJing just because there was like a need at my college for a DJ to do the bar, like the college bar and all that. So I was like, oh, I'll figure this out. Like I have an idea of how this works. So kind of started there, and then, like I said, moved down here, and I tried out for a couple of bands, and it just mutually didn't work out. And then, like I said, I kind of hit Zach up after seeing a Craigslist ad. We were texting for a while. I was like, this dude is exactly on my level, and this is exactly what I want to do. And
Very nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
So on my side, I'm from Mexico, and I've had several bands back in Monterrey, starting from metal, then some hardcore, like classic hardcore, then punk, like Slick Shoes, MXPX kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Then I jumped to an ambience kind of band called Lolita, and then one like it was like noisy screamo called Oma. It was just a three-piece band, like screamer, bass, and drums. It was very fun, like short songs.
Yeah.
1 minute songs, kind
Just
of stuff.
yelling into the microphone.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Then I moved to Orange County. I was like a small band, and then I moved back here to Austin, which is
Because Orange County is ridiculously expensive.
oh yeah.
Mexico's got a pretty good scene.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's a lot of
It is awesome.
there's this ska band that I really like called Los Carnales. I think they're originally from Mexico.
Oh yeah, it's Carnagas, yeah.
Yeah, but I've heard like so many different things. They've got a great like punk scene and everything, and it's fantastic.
I gotta get a passport so we can go tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's pretty cool.
Someday.
Yeah. So, could you describe your music? I mean, I think it's kind of already been described, but
It's pop punk with an easy core edge, I guess you'd call it. We've always tried to do something that's a little bit heavier than, like poppy pop punk, I guess. We're the less poppy side of pop punk, I guess. Some of our songs do veer on like a pretty punk edge too. Our drummer,
really like
Roger, is very, very punk influenced. His favorite band is Rancid.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
he's very influenced by, that style of music, more like David, MXPX, and Slick Shoes, things like that. And then the rest of us kind of come from a little bit more pop punk background, like what we think of pop punk, like the 03 to 07 scene kid kind of days. I think Cam's probably the most well-rounded of all of us.
Yeah,
he listens to everything.
Everyone else just loves pop punk, but I just like everything. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but like influences for me are like Incubus, 311, like love electronic stuff. Pretty much like everything except for like country music. But
I mean,
honestly, it's very heavy, a lot less poppy, but kind of soulful vocals and some pretty cool leads. It's very Newfound Glory. That kind of era inspired Newfound Glory, Fall Out Boy. Another big inspiration.
Keep an eye out for a shirt that's going to say, less poppy pop punk.
And then you're like, I think
Now you're
that
cooking
one
with gas.
band coined that phrase.
more punky
That's our
pop
new.
punk.
That's the new genre we've created out of the 40 different subgenres
right.
of pop punk. But yeah, pretty much pop punk.
Yeah.
A little bit easy.
Do you guys get compared to Paramore a lot? I don't know if you've really had anybody to
In the
talk to
beginning.
you about.
We've had a couple people, but a lot of times, I don't know. People don't really come up and be like, "Oh my God, you guys are just like Paramore."
Yeah.
They don't do like that, but they'll say. I've had a couple people come up to me and ask what my vocals are influenced by.
Yeah.
And I think most people could probably tell, like, Patrick Stump is my biggest influence.
Yeah.
So honestly, we don't really get the Paramore thing too much. A lot of people have told us that they feel like we're more old school pop punk.
Yeah.
Like, we remind them of that. We've gotten the Newfound Glory comparison before, which pretty much, like, melted my heart.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. So, what are your shows like?
Gosh. Like our performances, I guess? Yeah. I would say pretty energetic, loud.
Yeah, most of us are always moving the whole time, except for Roger. He just sits there. I don't know why.
Drummers.
Weird.
Those
am I right?
Drummers. But yeah, it's always very high energy. We try to jump around a lot. We try to interact with the crowd, try to get people singing along. We have a couple covers that we play, and,
Vicious Love is definitely a fantastic cover.
it's been a
We
while.
don't even
been a
play that
while,
one.
Yeah, we should bring that back.
I would love to.
Yeah.
We missed the boat on that for
We
Valentine's
did that
Day.
one. The one we've been on right now is The Best of Me by the Starting Line. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
always fun.
I feel like
It's a
that one
good-
gets the best reaction from people,
Yeah, definitely.
besides Coheed.
Yeah,
that was a different
good.
one.
Favorite house. But yeah, I mean, most of the time we're just trying to interact with our audiences and have a good time. You know, a lot of it's just like our friends and the whole scene. So, you know, we're jumping around, we're having fun, but
yeah. I always feel funny asking that question because I'm like, I've been to your shows, I know what it's like. But this is for the people who haven't been.
Well, we always start with a 30-second, bird call.
Some in the background,
Yeah. Some Gregorian chants.
I mean, how else are you going to start a show?
Yeah, I mean, come on, you gotta dampen the mood so you can be the ones that light it back up.
You gotta moisten the mood.
I mean,
And what is your writing process like?
oh, that's a good question because we're currently in the midst of that for our next EP.
So we took a different approach on it, and usually what we do is Liz and I will write all the songs, show everybody, but we're trying a new thing where we actually have everybody there. Cam definitely he wrote one about a month ago. We actually made it full band, everything, and it just has a little bit of tweaking we need to do with it. So.
Yeah.
So I really like that writing process more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's become more collaborative. Usually, most of our songs have been it works is somebody comes up with a riff. If I have riffs, I can do it. I can do all the things in the world. It's so much harder to come up with a melody first out of nowhere, and sometimes you do, but it's hard to like translate that somewhere into their guitar if I don't have the guitar first. So a lot of times it's the guitars if they just send me a riff or something like that. Like I wrote a whole song based off a 1 and 10-second clip of Cam that
just
noodling around, and then I crafted something from it, did a bunch of voice memos and sent them over to him, and we still haven't even touched that one. We have like 4 songs that we're kind of like half writing right now.
Yeah.
So technically we have like 3 or 4 different ways of writing songs.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
Constantly evolving. I mean, you kind of need to.
Yeah.
But, we're still trying to really figure that out. But I mean, overall, it's fun that now we've kind of like introduced more
Different writing styles.
And now we're kind of like finding all of our sound. You know what I mean?
And we're learning to speak to each other, like how to communicate, because we all speak in different music languages depending on our background, and it really helps knowing how each person works. Yeah. So I feel like this last week we worked on a new song, and I felt like that was probably the best collaboration we've sat down and actually done, where we all listened to each other and all really like worked together to make it. It was the first really cohesive writing practice like that, where all 5 of us were in the room and really working towards it instead of doing it acoustically and then bringing it to the rest of the band.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
That's awesome. That's really great. I think that getting everybody together, just like you guys said, it just brings in that extra element that wasn't there before. So now I'm really excited to hear this new music.
Oh yeah. We play a little bit. No, I'm just
Everybody's like,
maybe
what?
later.
Like when?
And who are each of your influences? You've kind of a little bit touched on it, but
Mine, I have quite a few. It's going to have to start with Blink-182, of course.
with the lovely Blink tattoo that you have.
Exactly.
Are you going in 2 weeks? To
I
360?
don't know. I don't like watching them at that big amphitheater. I feel like they do a lot better where it's like inside, kind of like instead of stadium seating, and you can buy pit tickets to it. It's kind of weird to me, but them and 4 Year Strong, Neck Deep, of course. Knuckle Puck has been a big influence lately to me. Can't really think of any. Oh, well, New Found Glory, of course. But it's the couch, I promise.
Well, for me, my probably biggest influence vocally, definitely Patrick Stump. I'm also a big fan of Bryce Avery from the Rocket Summer, who's, I believe he's from Denton Fort Worth area. But interestingly enough, they're both influenced by Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So I like doing stuff that's a little bit more jazzy with my voice, and I think that comes from, I have a big choir background. But But as far as like songwriting, definitely New Found Glory. There's structure, and I have taken a lot from the Wonder Years, the Greatest Generation album. I've tried to.
I don't know. I think I used to do rum and coke, and now I've given up soda. But
Do they still do the bottles of champagne on Barb's set?
Oh yeah,
do they? Okay.
$20 for a bottle of champagne. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not
$20? Wow. Oof, that is really stretching my
bad. Yeah.
pennies.
That's
Unless
when
you
you
have like
reach a
4
certain point.
people.
How many drink tickets for a bottle of champagne?
No, in my so I've personally never bought a bottle of champagne, but I've had friends where they get to that point and they're just like, I just want a face of bottle of champagne, and they go up and they're just holding it and
And then
around with it.
everybody, and that's how the
That's
floor
awesome.
gets wet in the pit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Exactly.
that guy's fault.
The one time I've ordered a bottle of champagne was not this past Valentine's Day, but 2016 Valentine's Day. I was at Jackalope, and you got a heart-shaped pizza and a bottle of champagne. I think it was like $20, and my friend and
that's
I
sick.
were like, "Let's do that."
Oh my
Oh
god.
man, I don't know about champagne and pizza though.
It was interesting.
I feel like
I'd probably mix it with
know.
like Sprite or something.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting combination.
I
But
could,
it was also like we were watching The Walking Dead, and it was cool. It was Valentine's Day,
Different,
whatever.
and I could go for some champagne right now. Some champagne.
So I know that when I was growing up anyway, that whenever people, to get anywhere with music, you had to be discovered, and then you got a record deal, and then you go with your record deal and do whatever, and maybe have a one-hit wonder. Some people obviously got to be fantastic. But now with the internet and everything, it's changed a lot. And I don't even know what the goals for bands are anymore to like do anything except for maybe be able to get like a big tour so that they can tour everywhere. But how do you guys feel about how the internet and technology has changed the face of music?
For me, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of a dinosaur and come from MySpace and all that stuff, and remember the days pre-internet.
Yeah.
But for us, it's so much easier to reach crowds that are kind of out there, and like all these Facebook groups, like the Defend Pop Punk group, and Texas Pop Punk Coalition. Like I stumbled across this band called Carried Away, and Liz had made a post on that Defend Pop Punk group, and one of the dudes from Carried Away was like, "Oh my god, I love your stuff," and I was like, "Dude, I love your stuff." And it was just like we actually chatted for a while, and I was like, "Hey, tell me about like the band and everything, and like what you guys do," because they're all the way up in Canada.
Yeah.
And they've had a couple videos that are really good, shot by the same dude that does like Seaway stuff and some of the Real Friends stuff, or not Real Friends stuff. Another Canadian band, but films. But I mean, the internet's made it so much easier for us to reach out to people, invite people to events, put it on their radar. It's not posting flyers anymore.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's cool, and then people can just hit us up, and we've had people hit us up for shows or podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's I spend so much time on Facebook, like trying to share our posts and stuff, because we don't have all the money in the world to pay for Facebook ads over and over again. We boost some stuff, but really the coolest thing about it is, like Cam said, just being able to reach people from all over the place. Like we have our EP is playing on a college radio station in West Virginia right now.
In West Virginia?
In West
That's
Virginia.
crazy.
Because the guy put a post in the Defend Pop Punk group. It's like, throw your band out. And then I emailed him because he put his email on there. And if you put your email on something, I'm going to send you something.
Yeah.
So, I've actually sent our stuff out to a bunch of different radio stations. And some of them you never hear back from. Some people are like, you're not really the thing we want or looking for.
Yeah.
But some people respond back in a really great way, which is really cool. And we've also had people just randomly contact us who we didn't reach out to in any sort of way, but they heard us somehow.
Yeah.
So all of my shares, my millions of shares are getting us somewhere. But I love that. It's easy to book tours. We're going on our first tour in May, and we are having our friend who does PR help us, reach out to venues, but some of it we're doing ourselves. And pretty much every show that we have booked has come from, talking on Facebook, reaching out to each other, messaging each other. Yeah. So it makes that part a lot easier. We don't have to sit here and phone call venues and ask if there's a show that we can, hop on or put on or something like that.
Yeah.
Mail a letter.
More collaborative.
Let me send a pigeon.
Yeah.
Or you get on AIM.
Hotter.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I reached out to you guys. I get really shy sometimes, especially in person, and there were several times that I was at shows and I was like, I need to just go up and talk to her and be like, hey, I love you guys' music, I have a podcast, and then...
We would have been like, yes, when?
And I feel like that's probably the response I'm going to get, but I know it might not seem like it, but I am actually a very shy person, and I get I'm going to go on Facebook and just do it this way because it's easier. And
We are not special or scary in any way. We are probably
nobody ever
as
is.
awkward as
I've
anybody
gotten
else.
fantastic responses from reaching out to people about the podcast. It's just always, I'm just ridiculous sometimes, so.
Well, no worries here.
And is there anybody that any of you listen to that you think would just throw people off, just be out of left field from what you normally, outside of maybe the pop punk genre?
Like on a regular basis?
Yes, yeah.
I am a huge Taylor Swift fan. I actually forgot to bring
Yes,
her up. I
yeah,
forgot to bring her up
very
earlier
nice.
because so one of my favorite things about her is her rhymes are unexpected.
Oh,
This
yeah.
girl can rhyme anything. Like
Yeah.
she
can
and
rhyme
it's
on a
creative.
dime.
Yeah.
They're not just like one syllable perfect rhymes.
Right.
They are multi-phrasal. Oh God, I love her. But I honestly I do think now I missed mentioning that before, but she inspires me lyrically because her lyrics aren't necessarily super in depth. Everybody wants to be a Jessie Lacey,
Yeah.
but some of us are just Taylor Swift writing about her ex-boyfriend,
Right.
and fuck that guy. But let me craft a song about it that is not crazy metaphorical, but it works. So I mean that's probably, I don't know if that's my biggest out of left field. Occasionally I get the wistful need to listen to some old school country, but
Yeah.
probably Taylor Swift is the thing that I listen to the most that people would be like, what? Oh, and Katy Perry and
Yeah.
I like good pop songs.
I do too.
Leave me alone. Leave me and Katy Perry
I'm
alone.
not the old country music is just
Oh, you like Taylor Swift, but you don't like country.
yeah, but Taylor Swift. All right, come on.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You respect Tim McGraw, okay?
If I wasn't going to be marrying Liz, I would.
Faith.
Hey, occasionally I listen to polka. You guys leave me alone.
True.
Weird Al.
For me, honestly, it's my guilty pleasures are Taylor Swift, and a lot of my time I spend watching music videos. And while I love pop punk stuff, I'll always go to Boyce Avenue. I love their covers. I love how they're collaborating with people.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj.
And yeah, Nicki Minaj,
Nicki Minaj is
Really?
fantastic.
Lil Yachty. Yeah, I do
A
have
lot of
soft
Drake,
spot for rap. Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
I'm that's where I come in and, oh yeah.
I mean, I know you used to go out and
Back in
6th
college,
Street.
back when I did one semester of college, it was Drake all day.
You told me you had a degree.
I do.
Oh, I know.
That was a technical college after that, but anyways.
Yeah, I know you like some rap music things.
And some of that rap, their music.
I don't know. The closest thing to rap I get is Kesha. Leave me alone.
Go get
Let me have my girl
some
power.
glitter and-
Hey, Kesha is fantastic. Not all
She
music
is
has to be
fantastic.
deep and
We are
metaphorical.
covering Love Is My
True.
Drug
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
please do.
sometime.
Can we?
Or waking up in Vegas.
some
We just
KP.
decided we're gonna be a pop cover band instead.
Yeah.
Like
All right,
every
guys.
other pop punk.
Well, this has been fun, but see you later.
I thought we were going to be a little less poppy.
Well, yeah, but it's different when it's covers.
Nah.
They'll be
Less poppy on the on the original side, and
Yeah.
then just bring out all of the pop on the cover side.
Ooh.
We'll be a dual-sided band, and we can even dress where half our outfit is one thing, and the other half is the other thing.
Cut a baseball cap in half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we can always turn.
You have to shave half your head. Get ready.
Oh, fuck.
Well, we kind of used to.
And if you could write a song with any person, dead or alive, who would you want to
Ooh,
write
that's a
song with?
great
Ooh.
question. Wait,
Ooh.
each of us or as a
We can
band?
definitely do it each and as a band.
I don't know. I can't pick.
It doesn't
Mine-
have to just be
mine
one
Does it
is-
person.
have? Okay, I was gonna. All right, cool.
Mine would have to be probably with Soupy from the Wonder Years because
Oh,
that
God.
fucker is crazy. In a good way.
I was like, are you going to expand on that? How do you know? His Instagram
I
shows
just
that
like,
he is a
I
normal
just like
person.
what he sings about, you know? He like sees something and writes about it.
True, yeah. To go through his mind. Man, when you put it that way, actually, Justin Pierre from Motion City Soundtrack,
Oh,
that
is a
guy.
good one.
Oh my God, I have no idea what. I mean, I know, you know, his struggles in the past with addiction, but holy crap, those lyrics.
Yeah, they're
Like, they're. To be inside that person's head.
Yeah.
I mean, I've honestly never done any sort of hallucinogenic or anything, but man, the things he comes up with.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I wish my inside of my head was that exciting.
Right.
Or maybe that's torturous. I don't know. But man, to sit down with somebody who thinks in such a different way,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
They do have some pretty crazy songs that you're just like, where?
I'll miss
Okay.
them.
Yeah.
Come back, please.
I know.
need
I
you.
feel like my not my childhood because it was right after high school for me when I really started getting into pop punk. So it was, you know, Yellow Card and Sugar Cult and everybody, and people keep leaving, and I'm just like, please don't.
I'm hoping
not
it's
ready to
temporary,
end it.
or at least there's you know, there's always new projects they'll be in,
Yeah.
and
There
we'll
was a
always
lot of-
have those albums.
there was a lot of comebacks
Oh yeah.
this past year.
Like since this fail and Hawthorne Heights have been being awesome
Yeah.
in general,
Oh, yeah.
there's been a lot of bands. Simple Plan keeps friggin' touring and skipping Texas, and it's driving me insane because they are the band that got me into pop punk.
I feel like they're coming to Houston, no?
No,
They are?
because I would
Okay.
go to Houston. I would go to El Paso for something.
Yeah, where was
Oh,
that
yeah.
on So What Music Festival? Come
Yeah.
on, Mike Zemer, you can do it.
Yeah.
Next year, Simple Plan.
Yeah, that's true. There's lots of comebacks. So, like, for me, back in college, one of my big influences was Envy on the Coast, and they just kind of, like,
Oh yeah, they're gonna be here
Disappeared.
next Friday.
and now they're just, like, happen to come
Or
through
not
Texas,
next
and
Friday, 2
I'm just gonna, like, go up and be like, hey, I saw you guys, like, 8 times in Boston. Like, this is so crazy that you're back together and down here.
Yeah.
But for me, in terms of, like, writing, I would say 2 options. I would love to write a song with 4 Year Strong, like, as an entity, just
That
because
was my other one.
I was like, wow, like, they're just so great in
Yeah.
just every facet of
If
it.
you watch their hands when they're playing guitar
Yeah.
together, it's
They are so
ridiculous.
It would be more like
synchronized.
a teaching
It's like they're,
thing. than
it's
a
like both
writing
of their
thing.
heads are just like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
They're like insane.
Since no one can see it, they push their heads together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they're like.
Like Siamese
They actually
twins.
absorb each other, and then they have 4 arms, and like
Yeah. They're communicating through their beards, you know.
There you go.
they're whispering.
And then in terms of a dead band, I'm actually also a big fan of Man Overboard, and they're just like a music factory, and
Yeah.
everything kind of sounds, it has that sound, but everything sounds a little bit different. So,
Yeah.
dead band, Man Overboard, I mean, they'll be back, and then 4 Year Strong.
Yeah. Awesome.
And for me, I think Matt Skiba from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, he is now in Blink-182.
Now in Blink-182.
Yeah.
So.
Team
Yeah, they
Scuba
got-
all the way.
Either he got his dream of writing with Blink 182,
Yeah.
or
They got their dream.
they got their dream of writing with Matt Skiba.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Man.
That's a good way to put it, right?
Yes.
Mark
Lots
Hoppus
of
is a great
dreams were
producer, though.
realized.
Yeah.
He is, yeah. Everybody keeps like, they're not Blink-182 anymore. I never got to see Blink when
Mark-
they were with Tom.
Oh my god.
Like the
I saw
first
that.
time I saw them was last year at the 360 Amphitheater during the X Games,
Mhm.
and I was so mad because G-Eazy was there and it got rained out. And I
Oh yeah, we were there.
G-Eazy,
Yeah.
and
We
I
were there
was
for
so-
Blink.
But I did get to see Blink, which was fantastic. I went nuts the entire time
So did
because
we.
I was
Yeah,
like,
we were like.
So did Eli
bouncing
from
back and
Dozer.
forth.
yeah, I was just. It was so good. I was like, this is my childhood right here. This is so amazing.
Oh yeah.
They're
So
they're
Mark-
amazing. Though.
Yeah, Mark Hoppus was a huge influence of mine on bass.
yeah,
Learned all of their songs, so
yeah.
yeah.
And he
that
he
helped.
was just all. I was like, you're like 50 and all over the stage right now. Like this is amazing. And I know that it's not Tom, but Matt's voice is a lot like Tom's. And I
It
felt
has-
like it
it
was
has
a
a
good
different
fit.
dimension, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to me because California, to me, kind of seems like they're going back to their roots,
Yeah.
even without Tom. So
Yeah.
all the kind of changes, like the self-titled album, that was huge when I was in high school,
Yeah.
you know, and I love that album. But I also had listened to them since Enema of the State, you know,
Right.
All the Small Things came out, I think, when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
We used to roller skate to that.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I love California because it reminds me of like the enema of the state, the take off your pants and jacket,
Right.
like that kind of era. Even though I love the self-titled, it's kind of like how I feel about Fall Out Boy too.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Save Rock and Roll and I love Folie à Deux, but you know, Take This to Your Grave is always going to be my favorite because that's
Yeah.
how I fell in love with them.
Yeah.
So
And oh man, their most recent one has just been fantastic. Like I've put that on repeat. So
I have to
many
like
times.
separate it.
Yeah.
Because to me, in Fall Out Boy, in my head is still like old Fall Out Boy, but I
Yeah.
also enjoy the new stuff too, like
Yeah.
in a different way.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, you know, like everybody would,
Evolution.
you know, like I appreciate evolution, good evolution, and
Yeah.
you know, and I will never stop listening to Patrick Stump sing anything ever.
Never.
So,
Ooh, he
Ever.
also did what, the World Series?
oh my God, when
he
he sang the national
Yeah.
anthem,
Did he?
if I got to
That's
sing
amazing.
for the Packers at the Super Bowl, that would be like my moment there.
Yeah.
So when he sang it, I was like, oh my God, this has to be like his biggest dream come
Oh, yeah.
true.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Pretty
you know,
sweet.
Packers have to get there first.
Hey, they were close.
Oh, here we go.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh yeah, you did. Wait,
Champions,
Super Bowl.
2017. What?
You can have
There's a
it.
little bit of a football rivalry within
Yeah.
both
Not
stuff.
really.
She likes the Packers, I like the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't watch football together,
Yeah,
so we're okay.
Just
Yeah.
because.
Just in case.
Yeah, we watched the Cowboys game with Brendan from Later Days, and that was we like got all quiet after the Packers, you know, took it at the last second, and we just kind of looked at each other, and we're like, we're still friends, right? Still love you.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's definitely a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. So there was some quiet reflection
Yeah.
afterwards, and then we were
Right.
like, okay, we finished our beer, we're gonna go.
Yeah. We're gonna give you some time.
Yeah.
I wonder how he's taking the Romo leave.
You know, I haven't seen too much. I know Troy from Forever Starts Today
Yeah.
had made, you know, Tony Romo, what, he's going to the Texans or something?
No, he's going to talk about it.
He's going to
Yeah,
talk
They're having a
about it.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any decisions yet.
Yeah.
So
Well, good luck to the Cowboys because Dak Prescott is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Wait, are we reviewing football now?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
This
I
is turning
miss
into a
I miss
football
football
podcast.
Sunday. I miss football Sunday.
True.
I do too.
Now I have nothing to do on Sunday but
Cheese,
write music.
crackers, and beer.
Cheese.
And sausage.
Sausage.
Ugh.
The sausage was a given.
Oh, I'm sorry. You had to say it.
what's y'all's favorite venue to play at here in town?
Oh, them's fighting words.
Sidewinder outside has
Sidewinder.
been the
outside.
funnest.
Yeah.
Um,
So far,
Sidewinder's
Sidewinder
pretty
outside.
fantastic.
we just had I think the best crowds there for
Yeah.
sure, other than Swan Dive at Jimmy. But that's a really hard question because I feel like most of the venues we play have a really we tend to play venues that actually kind of like specialize in our sound. It feels like most of the shows there, so they actually know what they're doing.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So I can't actually say we've had any bad experiences, really.
There's always one or two, but
Yeah.
I don't want to like talk smack about any.
I will say
any
the staff
particular
at
venue.
Sidewinder is always super
Yeah.
accommodating and
That's
they're
awesome.
super cool,
Yeah.
and I feel like they actually dig what we're doing, which
Yeah.
is like really cool.
Yeah,
So we
And
enjoy that.
always
usually
good,
the sound guy, like last time we played there, sound guy came up and was like, that was a great set.
Yeah.
We were
Oh,
like,
wow.
whoa, like that's cool. Like you don't hear that much, but you know,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Not from a sound guy because they sit there all the time and they hear
They're just
everything
like-
and they're just like, what?
We've had a couple shows like that where the sound guy actually like, you know, stayed and listened for our set instead of going to wander off and smoke a cigarette somewhere.
They're
Yeah.
like, but I need.
You're like, okay, just
Okay.
just kidding.
Sidewinder also has like I don't know. I feel like we've played our best shows there.
Yeah.
Not only in terms of like our performance, but like just the most memorable. Like that time we played with Glass Mansions. That was
Oh my
inside.
And
god,
the Ataris.
yes.
And the Ataris, we played with them outside,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what we did.
Before
yeah,
before
we
this,
opened for the Ataris.
before
yeah.
this, we
that-
played. Oh, what?
That wasn't last year, right? When
Yeah, it
they
was
were with them?
September, I think. No,
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't when they were with. No, it was a separate tour that they were doing. We
Yeah.
just like hopped on it with
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it was
were
just
like we're
September.
trying so hard to like get on that show, and then we finally got the news, and I was
That's
over
awesome.
the moon because So Long Astoria is like one of those like timeless albums
yeah.
for me. And I
They
was like,
sound checked with Here in This Diary, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
man, it was so
yeah,
awesome.
it was so awesome.
And we were the only ones out there. We were just sitting on the curb, like.
But we are.
Right.
I mean, we are going to be playing Mohawk for the first time as Gold Steps in
Inside.
a couple of weeks, which is exciting.
nice.
I know we all want to eventually play Stubbs.
Oh yeah.
That's like a dream venue
Yeah.
here for sure. But
Outside Stubbs,
Mohawk
yeah.
is definitely checking off of the Gold Steps bucket list.
ACL
David
Live.
and Zach and I played
Yeah,
there
that's one of
before
mine too that I would love to play.
Barracuda and,
Barracuda, yeah,
and
we didn't get over
Empire
there.
would be
Control.
up there for me on want
Yeah.
to plays. But
Basically,
But we haven't
we'll
played any of these.
We'll play
Play
pretty
anywhere.
much anywhere.
Yeah.
Like they're, like
we played 17-year-old girl birthday parties just
That's
for
I'm
fun.
pretty
Yeah.
sure she
Or
was turning 18.
She was turning,
She was
well,
turning 18.
Yeah.
She was 17.
There was
18th
cake. It was
birthday.
awesome. And the parents let
And-
us drink because
Oh, nice.
Yep.
we're old
Old
enough.
enough. Yeah.
So they didn't even card us. They were so generous. That was a fun night. Valerie's 18th birthday party.
And then we also played at Collision Shop once for like a benefit.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
Fun stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I don't know. We'll say yes to pretty much anything. But yeah, I mean, for us, Sidewinder kind of holds a special place in our heart because we've had so many memorable shows there, and everybody just gets it. And we've garnered a lot of new fans just randomly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we just played there with Boys Club, and
Yeah.
it was the funnest show. It was so much fun.
yeah,
And we had like a crowd of people who had probably never seen us or heard of us before, and
Yeah.
we all had a great time.
I do like Sidewinder a lot. I've been to several shows there, and it's always a good time. The crowd there is always really great. So
They're
but-
there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's to see the band.
Exactly. It's kind of sucks because I've been all over Austin to different venues. Like if I know somebody is playing that I want to see, I'll just go to the venue. And like Speakeasy is kind of a weird one because it is a very nice venue, but the people that go there aren't necessarily there for music. They're just kind of like there for like because it is kind of a cool chill vibe or whatever. And most of the time they don't really pay attention to the music, and I'm just like, you guys, there's some awesome shit happening on stage right now. Like,
See, and I'm kind of surprised because I feel like, I mean, are there even any venues like I guess venues that are more venues that happen to have a bar inside as opposed to a bar that happens to have a stage with people making noise on it. That's definitely preferable.
Yeah,
because then people paid to get in or whatever.
exactly.
They want to be there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
kind
it's
of the
weird
point.
because a lot of times, like Speakeasy, there is a charge to get in, and people will just pay it.
See, I don't
mean,
get that.
it looks like a, richer crowd that might have $5 to just. I mean, I don't mind paying $5 if I'm seeing a band, but if there's
Pay
no
$5
music,
to
why am
sit
I
on a
paying?
stool.
Yeah. Why am I paying $5 to then pay more money to drink if there's nothing else
Yeah.
involved?
I'll just go to the free bar.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Parish would be cool to play.
Yeah.
Put that on the bucket list.
The bucket list.
The bucket list.
The bucket list.
Like
Book
we gotta
it.
book
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. There you
The
go.
bucket list.
But where's Roger?
damn.
What's your favorite cover song to play?
Crickets.
I don't
If you could
know.
put crickets in there, that'd be awesome.
Right.
For me, it's best of me. Honestly, we've played a lot of covers, and so it was like kind of my idea. I was just like, hey guys, can we play Best of Me? Because it's just like one of those iconic songs for me, and it sounds great acoustic or electric.
Yeah.
And I brought it to these guys, and they're like, yeah, we can definitely play that. I was like, oh,
Oh.
kind of like fangirl, like
that used to
girling
be-
in the background, like. But I think right now, I mean, it's pretty much our favorite cover, and I love Thriller by Fall Out Boy. That's my other favorite one. That's just so much fun. I don't know, just anything that like garners a crowd reaction. Like we're playing in Dallas, and some dude, like I was playing that, and some dude was just like, "Ah!" going crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then
We played that song for him.
yeah, I was just like looking out and being like, wow, like this is cool. Like I know it's not my song. And then Best of Me, when we played with Boys Club at Sidewinder, we had these three girls that were like kind of standing in the back by the bar, and then just all of a sudden just playing that opening, Liz starts with that, tell me what you thought about when you were
You would
young.
have thought we were the starting line.
Yeah,
I
but like
have never
these
seen
girls
somebody so
literally
excited.
just like
It was great.
plowed through the crowd to like come up front and center and just like yell along, and I was like, oh, it's so great.
I
Like,
did that once for Burning Years because they did a
Pony?
Paramore song.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
Pony's
what
my
you
favorite.
get.
And I knew that they had covered it before because I'd seen him do it. And then as soon as it started, I just ran up there because I love that the drummer, Chris,
Sings,
gets
yeah.
up and does
Oh
it.
yeah,
And
Love
Sherman
it.
gets
And
on
he's-
drums. So I was just like, yes! And I just pushed everybody aside, and Sherman saw me, and he was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, Burning Ears is definitely.
They
They're
kick
awesome.
ass on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do a lot of great covers, but
That's, I guess, the starting line.
yeah,
Personally, I really liked doing Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. But that
I
one
did
is
too.
so hard. That is
Yeah.
so hard. It is like constant vocals. And
Yeah.
constantly like. So after having to sing that one live a few times, I have so much respect
yeah.
for anybody else who
It's
can
almost
sing
like
that song.
it's like rapping. Jeez, it's like
Very
constant.
fast.
Like no chance to sit there and just
Take a breath real quick.
Yeah.
I think honorable mention goes to Coheed.
Yeah.
Because nobody expected that from us.
Yeah.
And God,
A lot
that
of
song
people
is so
stay away
fun.
from it
Yeah.
because of how high pitched the vocals are.
Right.
Yeah.
Get a girl to sing it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And that's why we did it. It was fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think Coheed's probably just out of the blue for most people because I don't think anybody really wants to try because they do have pretty crazy guitar riffs too.
It is
So
kind of complicated on guitar. There's a lot of stuff going on. But,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's definitely a challenge, no matter what band it is that's covering it.
It
So
was for me, that's for sure.
Yeah. But fun.
I was
Very
like,
fun.
yeah,
But fun.
Cool. But fun.
I got a lot of good ones back here.
Yeah. Absolutely fun.
and where can we find y'all's music?
Everywhere. Except Pandora.
And MySpace. Not on MySpace.
And Pure Volume. We don't
We're
have
not
Pure
on
Volume.
Reverb Nation.
Okay, we're
So
not
where are we
naming
not?
where you can.
We are. We are on
But, yeah,
Spotify.
we're on Spotify,
Bandcamp.
iTunes, Bandcamp, Apple Music,
Amazon Play.
Amazon,
Google Play.
Google Play.
Google Play as well.
Amazon in general. And soon,
Pretty much every major.
physically.
Yeah,
Soon you can
soon
get-
physically. We're having more physical copies, but for South by Southwest, we'll be just
Throwing out
Well,
CDs.
Giving
with a
birds
Spotify
away.
follow or Facebook like,
Yeah.
Ah,
you get a
yes.
free EP or sticker.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the major outlets, and we're trying to step up our YouTube game so we can kind of. We've recently discovered like YouTube Red, and
Yeah.
we're trying to kind of up that game a little bit and put some videos up of our EP
Yeah.
stuff. So
You can also find our videos on our Warp Tour channel,
oh yeah, our
which we
Play
are
Warped
trying.
Tour.
Yeah, we're trying to,
Nice.
do the Ernie Ball play thing this year. Since last year we weren't quite ready yet
Yeah.
for that. So
Does
we're
that
doing
mean you
this
guys
year.
are gonna maybe be on Warped Tour? Even for
I hope so.
another day? 'Cause that
Another that would check
fantastic.
off our bucket list.
We'd probably
Yeah.
play like the Ernie Ball stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is
If
a
not, we're
chance-
going to the parking lot.
There is a chance to play main stage.
Oh,
if
that's what it
you
is
win
then.
in your
Oh,
state,
nice.
I guess.
Yeah.
hmm
For us, it'd be San Antonio where we're trying
Yeah.
to actually do that.
I was so Warped Tour has always been in Texas around my birthday, and last year was the first time it was on my birthday. But I already had other plans to do other things, and I was like, "Ugh."
I
And
haven't
also
been
I
to Warped
haven't
Tour.
been in years, and most of
Oh
the
my
bands
God.
I didn't know. Like there's like two things. I
Last
knew.
year was the year I would have wanted to go again, but my sister got married the weekend that all the Texas dates were. So I
Yeah.
love my sister more. She took us to see one of Motion City Soundtrack's.
Their farewell show.
They're one of their farewell shows
Oh,
in
wow.
Minneapolis for her
It was
bachelorette party
That's
because she got
fantastic.
married in Minnesawesome.
Yeah.
So she made up for it.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
But this year it's on a Saturday, so
Yeah.
it's tight.
July 29th, pretty sure that's Harry Potter's birthday, maybe?
His birthday is the 31st.
Oh, damn it. I'm sorry. I knew it was around that time. We're celebrating early.
It's really funny. I have a friend whose birthday is the 31st, and he hates Harry Potter, and I'm just like,
I don't know. I share a birthday with a Backstreet Boy, so.
I share it with Bill Cosby.
Man, you don't
Jello?
share.
Do you eat Jello on your birthday?
No.
Or
Also, Michael
pudding
Jackson
pops?
died on my birthday, and I'm just like, why are
Aw.
all these?
You don't share a
Not
birthday with
great people.
anyone else. Cool.
Oh yeah. Cam and I share a birthday. We also share a birthday with AJ McLean
Elvis Presley as well.
and Elvis Presley.
Jim Morrison.
Maybe.
I
Yes,
think-
Jim
yeah.
Morrison.
See, those are all fantastic.
January
9th. What a great day.
Yeah, come to our birthday
Good
party
day.
next year.
And you have two members from NSYNC in that month, so
Mm.
True. Very important.
very important. So this episode is going to go up on April 11th. Do you guys have any shows after that date that I could?
Do we have April 12th?
April 22nd, I believe.
What is it?
It's April 22nd. Aren't we playing with somebody?
Let's take a pause real quick.
Wait.
We're playing April 2nd and April 8th.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything booked out that far, but
Okay.
we're going
We
on
are?
tour
May
towards
27th?
the end of May, and we're gonna play a pretty sweet kickoff show.
What's
Yeah.
that show
We're
we just
really
booked
excited
with
about.
you?
At Sidewinder?
Or not?
At I'm
Was
not
that
sure.
at
Is that at Sidewinder? Our kickoff?
Our kickoff is moved to Mohawk.
Oh, it's moved to Mohawk. Yeah, we're trying.
That's what that
to
show
play
is.
that.
Good.
so.
Yeah, it's a huge show.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be playing with some
It's gonna be a banger for
yeah,
sure.
some friends. But we haven't officially announced it yet. But that will be May 27th at Mohawk.
Awesome.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing coming up for April yet,
Yeah.
but
We're
stay
definitely-
Probably be
tuned.
writing.
We're probably
Yeah.
gonna be writing.
Yeah. Follow
What,
us on Facebook or Twitter
yeah.
or Instagram.
We'll have recently released our video for
Toughen Up.
Toughen Up. That's coming out April 1st.
Yeah,
So.
Sherman was telling me he got to be in that.
He did,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
And actually, Andy from Nominee got to be the bad guy in the video. Steve got to be the peacemaker, and our friend Blake, he got to be the shy guy. And then our friend Michelle, who sings in or sang in Maybe Tomorrow, she got to be the prize, the
Yeah.
woman that the men fight over.
Chiquilla Banana.
Yeah. But a lot of our friends from bands are in Austin came
Yeah.
out and got to be part of that music video, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice. Very nice.
It was awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna sing a song.
All right, guys, ready? Yeah.
Yes. Hate to weak a word for the loving you deserve. You had it all, you had her, now she's slipping through the cracks. And your excuses are the keys to a past you buried deep. The truth only matters if you spill before it leaves. Whispers inside eyes advise to say goodbye. He'll break you down, so toughen up. He could never get enough. She used to sit at home, clinging to her phone, waiting for a call that would never come. Justifying everything, each missing piece of what she needs. It was over before you had a chance to try. Whisper inside eyes advise to say goodbye. He'll break you down, so toughen up. He could never get enough. When his name slipped past her teeth, all her careful control escaping, facing what you feared would come, destroying who you thought she was. Whispers inside eyes advise to say goodbye. He'll break you down, so toughen up. He could never get enough. Whispers inside eyes advise to say goodbye. He'll break you down, so toughen up. He could never get enough.
Do we feel good about that one?
That was the take.
Fuck, that was perfect.
That was the best that we've ever played that acoustically.
Thank you for listening to Julie's Infinite Playlist. To support the podcast, please rate and review on Stitcher and subscribe via Patreon. That's patreon.com/Julie's Infinite Playlist. The podcast was created by Julie Roth and is produced, mixed, and edited by Julie with help from Nick Colbert. Special thanks to Nikki Nadeau. All songs performed are property of the musicians performing them.